Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We got some engine content. Although I will admit it is not mine, it is a customer's. However, it is still going to be a pretty cool build. I'm not sure how in depth this will be, but yeah, let me show you guys what we're working with here. A lot of you guys might remember we tore apart that 1500 horsepower or that 6.7. So what we have here inside this crate is a D&J, I think this is a stage 2 head. I haven't looked at it since Steve had it open, but we got his block back from the machine shop here. Steve got her all machined up. The only thing I have to do is put a new bushing in the cam tunnel there, but it is all lubed up. Obviously it is not clean yet, that's why it's out here, but I'm going to go ahead, wire wheel this block up as well as clean it. From there we will measure our bearing clearances on the mains to make sure we got the right bearings, and then we will also mic his crank and check out his rods. For rods, obviously guys, you already know we have a set of Wagler Street Fighter rods. For his camshaft, we have a Hamilton 188-220, I believe, down there. So Hamilton tappets. I think these are Manton push rods. I could be wrong. We have a set of Molly 6.7 pistons here. He went with the regular spray pattern. And then New Performance Auto knocked out a very slick looking valve relief. Look at that, guys. Gorgeous. So obviously Steve did the machine work, and that we have his factory main caps after the line home. We have a set of 12 valve 14 millimeter main studs there for the caps, as well as some Molly bearings. We are upgrading him to these Trend. These are just the tool steel replacement. These are not a DLC coated, but they are the tool steel ones that I run in the black truck here. Again, guys, I do sell them. Currently, I believe I have 2 sets in stock. We have some OEM Cummins rocker arm assemblies. These are the 6.7 updated ones. We have a Cummins oil pump, fluid damper. Obviously, we have a fluid damper max power kit. We have a Cummins 6.7 oil cooler there. A set of D&J precision machine freeze plugs here, and we will be bolting the head on with a set of ARP 625s along with the included fire ring gasket in the engine there. We have a mixture of Interstate McBee and Molly gaskets, set of soft plugs here, and then inside of here is all of his dirty engine parts that I need to throw in the parts cleaner. So what I'm going to do is get the parts washer fired up here, and I'm shooting this intro. It'll probably be a lot later that we put the engine together, at least film it a couple days from now. So I'm going to get everything in the parts washer. While it's in the parts washer, I'm going to go ahead and check his main bearing clearance as well as his rod bearing clearance, make sure we're good there. I'll probably get a little bit of that on time lapse for you guys, and from there we will file fit his rings. And then, guys, you know the drill. A little assembly lube, little brake clean, little my old reliable here, piston ring compressor, and we get to town and we turn all of this boxes of goodies into a hopefully 1250 horsepower plus 6.7 monster going to Hawaii. I know what you guys are thinking. Why is this outside? Well, we haven't cleaned it yet. As you can see, I got a wire wheel. So Dave was working on some stuff, so I couldn't get it outside to wash it, which is fine. So we went ahead, checked his main bearing clearance, checked his rod clearance, got his crank gear TIG welded on right there, got his rings ground, and now I'm in the process of changing his camshaft over, and I will TIG weld that. Again, we're running that Hamilton 188 220 from here. Then I will wash his crank, wash his block, and get ready to assemble. So next time you guys see this, we'll be in there putting it together. All right, we got our waggler rod with our bearings all mic'd out. There's the rest of them. We got all that done. We got our crank cleaned up over there in the corner. Our block cleaned up. We got a test splotch of color. He decided he wanted it in primer gray, so you know, that's on him. We will get it painted in primer gray, head and block for him. Now we're going to go ahead and basically put the crank in right there with the 14mm main studs, get our H bearings in the bottom end, assemble our rods to our pistons with our trend wrist pins here, our Molly pistons that are valve relieved, the Street Fighters, our rings that are all file fit to this, and toss our cam in, which we got the cam gear swapped over. There is his cam. It's a 188 220. Put his tappets in here and just get her buttoned up. It shouldn't be too long. We got to ship this one to Hawaii, so we're gonna make sure we get it sealed up. Unfortunately, I cannot prime this engine because you cannot ship an engine with oil in it to Hawaii, is what I was told. So we are going to go ahead and get this thing as primed up as we can with assembly lube. And you guys can see there all the wire wheel action that happens. And this is like a little bit of flash rust, obviously, but there's like his front cover. Here's his adapter plate, his oil filter housing. So we do take a lot of care in making sure everything's cleaned up there. And we are ready to go, guys. Let's get this put together. Okay, crank is in, spins free. No issues there. Assembly lube. Now it's time to go ahead and put our front gear case on, our rear main housing on, cam in, and then we can start doing rods. Got our rear main housing on. We have our front gear case on. The cam is installed. It's hidden behind this tape here. We got our crank thrust, cam thrust measurements, all of our rod bearings, and now we're gonna go ahead. We also did all of our soft plugs as well. And then one thing I always do on a billet freeze plug motor, I knock these loose, and then you guys kind of see it's very easy to like tap them out. I just use them to plug the hole so I can paint the block, and then from there we'll go ahead and start putting our rods in this engine with the pistons. So I'm not gonna lie, this one really hurt me, but in this case, this is what the customer wanted. He wanted it engine primer as the color, and honestly, as it dries, I don't know, it might look good. But we got basically a junk water pump bolted onto it. That's how I do that. I taped the crank off, and then on this one, I just pulled the tape off the head. I tape it real quick and then I pull it off. That way you don't have to deal with all the residue. But yeah, we got it all painted up. This is his old oil pan, and just because it's going so far away, what me and this customer talked about, because this one's going to Hawaii, he's got a new oil pan. We'll put the oil pan and the pickup tube and a bunch of other miscellaneous parts in the box for the oil pan, ship that with the motor, and leave this junk oil pan. I did clean the inside of it, and just a couple of bolts there just to keep the dirt out, and then he will essentially put the oil pan on, because I guess when you ship stuff to Hawaii, you can't have oil in it. So you just kind of got to do what you got to do. But so the block's engine primer, and then the head is just how D&J sells it, which is black. So I think I mean, who knows, guys? This might turn out pretty sick. And yeah, we got it all buttoned up, pistons in. No pickup tube, obviously, so just the oil pan. Front crank seal got replaced. Front cover got thrown on, and she's ready to go. We got our piston protrusion dialed in, and now I just gotta let this dry, throw the head on with some 625s and a firing gasket, and she'll be ready to go. It's gonna be pretty sick. A lot of cool billet. We still gotta throw the D&J billet freeze plugs in it, the fan pulley on it, the water outlet, couple other miscellaneous things. He's got a king speed valve cover, which unfortunately we're not going to be able to put on because the rocker box isn't here. So we will put the head on and then just saran wrap it up really good and get it ready to ship. All right, and here's our D&J stage 1 upgraded valve springs. I'm not sure if they port and polish this one at all. I would assume they probably do. We got the nice thread-in freeze plugs here. We have, so this head originally came all in the head. So if you guys looked, you got a lot deeper groove here and more of a shallower groove here. That's normal. The customer decided he wanted to go half and half, so that's how we do it. We just basically take a little bit off the head. Whatever we take off the head, you put in the block. So now I'm gonna get this done. This is the head gasket from D&J. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if they make their own or not, but it's very similar to a Hazley style firing gasket, so no issues there. And then his 625s, I'm gonna get this thing thrown on. Okay, head is on. We got everything taped off, including the head studs. We'll put a rocker box on it, obviously. We'll go ahead and get this thing all primed up for him. From there, all we gotta do is put an oil filter on for him, put his billet freeze plugs in, and this thing is ready to go to Hawaii. We'll get it all crated up and stuff, but for the purpose of this video, I think we'll call it. And here's the final color. Looks pretty sick. We just got that paper towel in there for the travel. We'll leave that taped up because we didn't get that piece from him. The adapter plates, after I cleaned it, I realized he's running a 68, but oh well. The rest of his stuff, harness and a couple miscellaneous things, and his gaskets we'll throw in the box with his new oil pan, put it on the pallet, and here she is, guys. I mean, honestly, I'm kind of feeling it. This is primer, and then I hit it with some gloss. Looks pretty good, and I just gave it a little accent, you know. Didn't want to upset him, but I also didn't want to leave him looking bland. But there she is. Nice D&J billet freeze plugs there. Got the billet one behind his fan hub, and yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this a little bit of engine building. Again, this is our like ultimate 6.7. It is 6.7 crank, 6.7 block, 6.7 standard bore, Molly pistons, 188 220 cam, set of Wagler Street Fighters, 14 mil main studs, 625s with a fire ring. This is a D&J ported head. You can substitute that with anybody's ported head, really. D&J makes some with shelves off, all that. D&J Freedom, who else? New Performance Auto, Industrial Injection. All of those companies make ported heads. I'm sure there's more out there, but anyway. We have D&J billet freeze plugs on this one, and a fluid damper with a max power kit. It's got a Hamilton 188 220 cam with 145 tappets on there. And guys, this thing's ready to party. I think he's putting like 1300 horsepower in it. 472, 488. Again, this one's going to Hawaii, so hopefully this thing is out there ripping really soon. We're gonna get it packaged up. But I figured I'd end this video off here, guys. Hopefully you like this one. Drop a comment down below. Subscribe if you are not already, guys. If you need an engine build or parts for your engine, call the shop, 276-608-3298. And just remember, if you get Dave also can help you out. It doesn't always have to be me. I'm very busy, and sometimes being on the phone is hard for me. And that's why Dave's here. Also, you can shoot me messages on the company page. We can get you quoted out and get you scheduled for your own engine build. As always, guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you all on the next one.